Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of The Real Movie Critics, real reviews by real fans. Nope, Lord Scuba Copper is not here. I don't believe he is even going to watch this particular movie, which is fine. We knew this going into it, but joining me as always. Oh, why are you doing that?
It would have been cool if he could have been a part of it, but I don't even know if he's a Jackass fan.
You know what? That's fair. I didn't even think to. Oh, he's not watching it, so he wouldn't be able to give us a critique of it or not. But that being said, as always, the psycho nerd, repeat movie viewer, all that shit that he does. We will be doing a review of Supergirl. We are not 100% sure if Lord Scuba Copper will be here. He is not able to get a sitter. We're going to try to see what we can do to get, because I want him on that review. I want him on there. That's one of those things where he has to be here, especially all the shitty talk to Dean Cain and Zack Snyder. He has to be here for that. Yeah. But there were two movies that opened this weekend, which this is recorded on the 26th of June, 2026. First, we had Supergirl, which I saw on Wednesday. And last night, I went and saw Jackass, Best and Last, which, again, premiered today, although there was early showings last night. Directed by Jeff Tremaine. He's directed all of them, so there's no shock there. With a budget of $10 million. And as of right now, the box office is $1.2 million. And I checked it maybe an hour ago. So it'll hit the 10 million mark. It's Jackass. People were laughing. The theater that I went to, it had maybe 20 people in there, including a family, mom, dad, and 4 kids of different ages. I mean, yeah,
not exactly appropriate for anyone under the age of 15, but
no, especially the opening scene that we see that was not allowed to be aired on MTV. But we'll get into that.
Oh yeah, we'll get to it.
But starring as always, Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Jason Acuna, also known as Wee Man, Chris Pontius, Dave England, Aaron McGahee. I think that's how you say it. Yeah,
Aaron McGahee. Yeah,
Preston Lacey, Jasper Dolphin. These are the new people at the bottom. Jasper Dolphin, Rachel Wolfson, Zach Holmes, also known as Jackass. And you know he's devoted because he got a tattoo of the logo on his chest. And of course, Sean Patrick McInnery, also known as Poopies.
Poopies. What a fucking name that is.
Now, this particular movie, they're saying this is the last. They said this the last time, but the title, Best and Last, they showed different bits that were never aired for obvious reasons. Two of them come to mind, and they showed some best of clips from the different movies and from the show. And then, of course, we had some newer bits. But we opened the show, or the movie, I should say, with a prologue saying, "This is when Jackass was born. We tried to show this on MTV, and they wouldn't allow it." And all we see is Johnny Knoxville. We don't see anybody else. We hear talking in the background. He has a fucking revolver handgun, and he's going to put one bullet in there, wear a bulletproof vest, stock it full of magazines. There's like 4 magazines, and they're all hustlers and whatever. And he's going to shoot himself in the chest with the bulletproof vest on at point blank range.
Yep.
One bullet.
I have no idea why this never aired on TV. Why the hell not?
You know, it's like the fucking box down the stairs one. It's something that people would have done had they seen it. And people are so stupid that they want, and it says in the beginning, warning, the stunts presented here are done by professionals. And I'm like I don't think
that's really going to deter any stupid people out there from doing what they see.
I mean, I saw Mary Poppins float down with an umbrella. It didn't stop me from jumping off the roof with a fucking umbrella. Just saying.
No, it didn't.
But he shoots himself in the middle of nowhere. Bam! Shoots himself and nothing. All he has to show for it is a hole where the bullet went through. That's it. Mm-hmm. And that's how we open the movie. And I'm sitting there going, this is really where it started. I thought there would be something more. Granted, shooting yourself with a gun, I'm not saying that's not exciting, but it's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, really. It's like they went all the way to the tippy top of something they couldn't use on TV, and then, okay, sure.
Thankfully, at the very bottom, it said, "Do not try this. This is really fucking stupid." And I'm like, yeah, really you think?
No, really?
You said you had some notes. Please go ahead and go through with your notes, please.
At least a few things to identify. First off, them saying that this is going to be the last. First off, it being called best and last. I have to. I digress on that because you know what? Hopefully this is the last because they've been saying it for the last few movies. And quite frankly, this is going to end up being my least favorite of the franchise. And I actually went through them all for Pete's house recently. So yeah. So there you go. So 70% of this movie was just rehashed footage from the TV show and the previous 4 films. That tells me that, oh my God, that just tells me that they really didn't have any new ideas because even all the new footage they use is really just retreaded stuff they've already done in the previous films. There's really nothing new to add to the table for the most part. You know what I mean? And I
Although
do. What? Go ahead.
Although I will say the robot, the robot that talked shit, I thought that was hilarious.
It was funny.
And the fucking the prostate exam to Steve-O, I'm like, and you got to give them credit for them being older. They're not doing the same dumb shit. They're still doing dumb shit, but it's not the same dumb shit. They're, doing prostate exams. They're taking the shit you drink before you do a prostate exam and made them play Twister before they shit themselves. I'm sorry, that's fucking funny. I thought that was freaking, who was that? I think Steve-O actually crapped himself.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't think it's the same without Bam and without Ryan. I know that's not saying a whole lot.
Actually, no, I disagree. That is saying a whole lot because between Bam and Ryan, they were my favorite people of the films. They were the ones that got more of a reaction out of me. I got more laughs from them. Not to mention Bam's parents. Between all 4 of them, especially with the parents being prominent for the first 3 films, their absence in the last film was very much noticed and it really hurt the film for me. And at least with this one, I can appreciate that they do have footage of Bam from the previous film that never got used because he got booted off the movie.
That's right, yeah.
He got booted off the movie, something about the wellness thing, but whatever.
I think
and then, of course,
alcohol. I think is what it was.
No, actually, I wrote that down. I can get specific. Essentially, where did I put that? I had it here somewhere. I don't remember where I put it. I'll find it. Oh, you know what? He was tested positive for Adderall. It's a central nervous system stimulant used to treat ADHD and narcolepsy by increasing attention, decreasing impulsiveness, and controlling hyperactivity. I don't really see what the problem is with that. That sounds like he was taking it to help himself versus something like weed or cocaine or whatever else you could possibly do put in your body.
He might have been abusing it because
maybe
that's probably what it was. And you'll notice that. And this is going to be a really fucked up comparison, but if you see Bam in the younger days when he was thinner and everything, he looks just like his mom. As he's gotten older and a little bit thicker, he looks more like the dad.
And he has gotten thicker. That's true.
I'm like, damn, now you're going crazy.
Going crazy with that shit. Jesus Christ. And I'm just going to come out and say it. The new cast member, Rachel Wolfson, she has zero purpose in this movie whatsoever, outside of the opening where the opening credit scene, they're kind of rehashing the things they did in previous films and her with the taser on the tongue. That is it. She does nothing in this movie beyond that. Ryan Dunn has more purpose in this movie, and he's been dead for 15 years. God rest his soul. I'm just saying, what the hell? And you know what? Before we let's also hit the wonderful Jackass checklist, shall we? Let's go to the checklist. Pooping, check. Naked balls, check. Getting hit in the balls, check. Lance puking. He almost went the movie without doing it. He almost didn't puke, but in the credits, he fucking pukes. Pontius drinking semen, even though technically speaking, that's cheating because it's previous footage, but they showed it anyway, so I have to count it. Guys getting electrocuted. Check. Bulls knocking the hell out of Knoxville. Once again, old footage, but they still showed it.
Oh my God. Do a take 2 and he gets fucking destroyed.
He does. And you know what? I'm just surprised there were no paintballs. Where's the paintballs? They didn't do any. This is the only movie that doesn't have paintballs. I was freaking surprised by that. Damn.
I think the problem with these guys is it's because they're older. They can't do the same shit. Their bodies have been through so much shit already, which is why they're having the newer cast members do all the fucked up shit. Because with the exception of Aaron is such a little crybaby. When they had the boot, and he kept hitting him in the dick, and I'm like, dude, no, get me the fuck out of here. they always fuck with Aaron and Dave.
And
Those are the
and
2
Dave. Mhm.
those 2 are always fucked with, like, they're just the low man in the totem pole. They get fucked with all the fucking time.
They really do.
You kind of have to feel bad for them too. It's like when
Nobody's forcing him to do it. I'm just saying.
I wanna
No
say
one's
it was
forcing them.
I wanna say it was Jackass 3D when they tied he had a tooth that was loose, and they
Lamborghini
tied
tooth pull.
Lamborghini to a pole, and they bing, and he's like, "Ah," and he's bleeding everywhere.
You know what's funny about that? In the credits, they show him going, he says something to the camera about, yeah, this was the Lamborghini tooth pull. Knoxville's like, we're not using that. I don't care.
And they cut to Pontius, who's like, "Some guys have a god complex. I feel like I'm more like the devil." Like, okay.
Satan. Satan.
Yeah.
Lord. So yeah, like I said, there was a lot of rehash skits, but as far as some of the new stuff, they do one called Follow the Leader, where apparently Knoxville is able to control shocking a couple of the
Shit.
guys by flexing his muscle.
Yeah.
What the hell? That was pretty random.
Well, he's
But
trying to get Poopy to shave under his neck where, you can fucking cut yourself pretty badly, and he's just I'm not sure what's worse, that or when they were putting the electrodes in the first one on their mouth, or they were putting it on the gooch, or they were putting it in
oh,
their I'm like,
the
which is
muscle
worse at
stimulator.
that point, you know? I mean,
I don't know.
but these guys have families now. They have kids. They have wives or whatever, to each their own. But I feel like the movie after the third one, the magic just wasn't there anymore.
No, it really wasn't. I feel like that and the way they ended it, they made it seem like, okay, this is done. They all got together and recorded a song talking about, like, we'll be together, memories or whatever the hell it was. They
Yeah.
recorded it and they played it during the credits. They said it was going to be a done deal after that, and I was satisfied, man. And that's because Ryan Dunn passed away in 2011, not even a year, I think, after the film got made, which
Yeah.
sucks. But it's like we went a whole decade and all of a sudden, oh, we're doing another one. It's like, why?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these movies make their money. You talked about it, and I looked it up. These movies all made money. Like the first one was on a $5 million budget, made like 80 million. The second
Yeah.
one was like 10, 15 million budget and made like 85 million. But Jackass 3D was the most profitable.
And I think it's the best one out of all of them, to be honest with you.
It is my personal favorite because it's got the best soundtrack as far as I'm concerned, and it's got more of the fun and funny moments along the film. Although it does have the grossest shit in the film.
I don't know about that because which is the one that Pontius drank the horse semen in? Was that the third one or was it the second
That
one?
was part 2. Part 3 had the sweatsuit cocktail, which I can't watch. I have to fast forward it. I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't do it. And there was one other one in that movie that it was the Poo Cocktail Supreme with Steve-O. Can't do that when man, that is so disgusting. For real.
It's fucking disgusting. Ugh. Although I think one of my favorite ones is the fart mask where Steve-O's wearing the helmet and then Preston's farting into a thing. They made fun of it on Family Guy. And then when they're done, Steve-O's puking everywhere. And then they look in the tube and Preston took a shit and the turd was sitting right there. It's a perfect little fucking turd sitting right there. And he's laughing and Steve-O's looking at the camera like, I cannot believe I signed up for this shit.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I was actually impressed. They had old footage from the TV show that didn't get used of Brad Pitt getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where did this come from? I'd never heard about this.
That one and the one where Knoxville was in a LA County jumpsuit, like he escaped from prison
Right.
and was trying to get a hacksaw, and they called the cops, and he got and again they Knoxville explains it before they show it that MTV got banned from filming in West Hollywood for 10 years because of that stunt. And I'm like, it's West Hollywood. Who the fuck cares? If you've been to West Hollywood, whatever. It is what it is. So there's really not a whole lot about this movie to talk about if you would really want to cut down to it. It's the same rehashed footage, some newer shit, and they even re-showed what was that one where they put Steve-O in the fucking porta potty and shot him up in the air. I forget what that one was called.
Yeah, that was the Poo Cocktail Supreme that I mentioned before.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
pretty gross.
A lot of rehashing. It was nowhere near as original as 1, 2, or 3. 4 was okay, but again, that was done during the pandemic. So you really
very true.
Yeah, you can't really do a whole lot about that. So if you were of the 5 movies, if you're gonna rank them from worst to best, what would your ranking be?
It's actually pretty easy. You got part 4 would be the bottom of the barrel, followed by Jackass Forever, followed by the first one, followed by the second one, and then the third one is my favorite.
Okay.
So 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, from worst to best.
I would, you know what? I would put 5 and 4 tied for second place, and the 1, 2, and 3 tied for first. That's what I would do, because 1, 2, and we're not even talking about the 2.0 or the 5.0s or whatever the fuck. We're not talking about those. Just the original movies, not the special edition extra scenes and shit. No, just the ones that came out in theaters. I'm gonna put this in the same category that I put Mandalorian and Grogu. Nice idea, but it would have been better if it was straight to streaming versus it being a movie that went in theaters.
And you know what?
Just my
I
opinion.
was thinking that on the way home. No, I agree with you. I think this would have worked out better if they had maybe signed a deal with a streaming service or Netflix or something like that, and had an hour and a half, 2-hour movie where it's mostly just kind of a send off, showing old footage and maybe some new footage just to entice people. But
Yeah.
I feel sorry for anybody who actually pays full price to go watch this movie, because I mean, with me having the season pass and not having to pay a dime for it, I'm happy I didn't, because if I'd have paid full price, I would have been pretty damn disappointed.
I
But
mean,
that's just me. That's
I paid
just
full
me.
price. I did laugh, and again, some of the stuff I laughed at was the older shit that I've already seen. It's just still fucking funny. So
And for me, that was my problem, because I did a marathon of all the films prior to this. All the older footage, I literally saw all that footage just a
Yep.
few days ago. So it didn't really hit me, because it didn't really hit me like it would have if I hadn't seen these movies in years. So, but more beneficial for anybody in the theater that probably never saw the original film. So they definitely benefited more than I did in that situation.
yeah,
So
that's fair. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Rotten Tomato scores, and they're gonna shock you. Tomato meter, critics. What do you think that percentage is as of right now?
it's a Jackass movie, dude. I mean, I don't know what the scores are from the previous films, but I'm gonna say 35%.
Nope, 88%.
60.
88. Yep. I'm gonna double check.
What?
I am gonna double
Are you
check.
sure about that?
I'm 100%. In fact, I'm gonna check it again because, again, there. Yep. Here. Oh, actually, it went down to 87%. I checked it like an hour and a half ago, so it's at 87%. So that being
So
said, what do you think the popcorn meter is? The fans,
75.
85%. It's high.
Okay.
It's high,
I am surprised by that.
but
Wonder,
like we.
I
Go ahead.
wonder why the critics put it so damn high. I wonder why the critics. I thought critics would tear this movie apart,
You gotta
considering
rem-
the subject matter.
You got to remember though, it's not actual critics; it's people that have been authorized. I went on there to try to become a critic on Rotten Tomatoes, and they've shut it down until 2027. You cannot become a critic on Rotten Tomatoes until 2027. And I'm like, all right, that's fair.
Why?
I don't know. I guess they're overwhelmed. I mean, to be honest with you, half the time the critics don't know what the fuck they're talking about anyway. But it is what it is. But we've said this before, and we'll say it again. We don't give a shit about the Rotten Tomato scores here at the Real Movie Critics. We want to know what we thought. And even though this channel is dead and it was an MTV Films, I think it's fitting that we give it 1 out of 5 MTV logos. Only fitting.
That's fair.
I mean, I was gonna do crutches, but no, I wanted to do MTV logo.
I would have done the skull and crossbones with the crutches, but that's the only other alternative for me. But
I already have that up here for the fucking logo, so I didn't want to double dip on that one. So yeah.
nah.
So that being said, 1 out of 5 MTV logo, Psycho Nerd. What do you give this movie?
If I'm being generous, I give it a 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. I mean, if they had actually come up with some really interesting ideas along the way outside of maybe like the robot and whatnot, like I said before, every single skit they do is stuff that we've already kind of seen just, for today is, versus what happened back then. Even with Johnny Knoxville, he actually dresses up as Irving Zisman. We see the return of the old man, the bad grandpa, going to a girls' nightclub for where guys take off their clothes or whatever, and that was surprisingly more funny than I expected it to be.
That was actually pretty funny, actually. Yeah.
But the bottom line, this movie is not going to have too much replayability for me, because with all the older footage from previous movies, I could watch the previous movies and get the same effect out of it. So there's really not much incentive for me to really watch this movie too much more going forward to get that particular satisfaction.
That's fair. So you give it a 2. I'm gonna be a little bit more harsh. I'm gonna give it a 1.5. Again, a lot of the if I wanted to watch over 70% of this movie, I could just put on one of the other movies. It's really that simple. So, and again, I agree, the replay value is very, very low. It's one of those things where if it's on, I'm probably not gonna watch it, and I'm not gonna rush out to try to buy it on digital when it comes out. I almost said DVD, I had to catch myself. But, no, and with your 2 and my 1.5, of course, Scuba's not here to give a score, so that's not applicable. It's an overall score of 1.75. That's probably the lowest score we've had. I'm gonna have to go back in the archives and look, but I'm pretty sure that is the lowest we've done.
Wasn't the lowest the Star Wars Holiday Special, or
I
not?
don't
Not so much.
remember if it was that low. I remember it being low, but not that low. So, I'll have to double check
You have to go
that.
back and check, like you said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll double check that. But that will this is probably one of the shortest reviews we've done. I think even the holiday special was longer than
Well, I
this.
mean, like you said, I mean, there's not really a whole lot unless you want to go through all the new skits one by one, which
Nope.
I kind of did some of that on my Pete's House episode for the marathon. I did something similar to that, but to make it funny, I gave certain skits awards just to kind of make it funny. You know, I mean, like,
Yeah.
oh, I give this one the I would never do that for no any money in the world award. That type of shit. You know, I mean, just to keep it interesting. But it's like, I would say not do that because it's a brand new film. I would say if anything we've said has interested you in any way, go see the movie for yourself, judge it for yourself, and
Yeah.
let us know in the comments what you think about it.
See, and that's the thing though too, is that we're not here to deter people from watching a movie. If you want,
Mm-mm.
you know,
Far from it.
here's my thing. Yeah, we're gonna review the movie, but I avoided for Supergirl, which we will review that later in the weekend. But I avoided all social media on Wednesday because I didn't want to see what the Rotten Tomato scores were. I didn't want to see, oh, it sucked. I don't need the outside. I want to make my own opinion. And when we review a movie, we're not trying to tell you, don't watch this movie. Don't watch it. It's a piece of shit. It's like, I thought it was a piece of shit, but perfect example. The new Nightmare we did last week. Y'all thought it was great. I was like, it was okay. And there's no hate there. It's just one of those things where I may need to go back and watch the rest of the movies to get a better opinion of what's going on. No fault to anybody. This is just our opinion. But we want to know what if you've watched the Jackass movies or the new one, the old one, talking to you out there. Yeah, you right there. I'm talking to you.
You right there, sitting in your chair, right there.
I look like Bill Cosby from the Cosby Kids. There's Fat Albert. Bill's gonna show you a thing or two. We really shouldn't talk about Bill Cosby.
Probably not. Probably not.
No. Anywho, if you've seen this movie or you've seen the other Jackass movies, leave us some comments. Let us know what you thought of the movie, what your favorite movie is, or your favorite bit that they've done. I'll ask that question before we roll out of here. What is your favorite bit that they've done in all of the movies?
Favorite? Oh, shit. God damn. Well, you really put me on the spot there. I might have to think about that for a minute. Shit. I don't know. What would yours be? Let me think about that for like 10 seconds.
Super Mighty Glue is
from
my
part
favorite.
3. Shit.
Super Mighty Glue. You rip out Dunn's fucking beard. Preston and Bam's dad, they rip out the chest hair, and you can tell which is which because Bam's dad's hand or the hair is just everywhere. And then he puts the thinner on to take the hair off and everything. And then he had a cut, so he's like, and then what you would call it? The mom goes to try to help Bam, and he just starts swinging at her like, because he's been fucked with so much that his not. He gets to fucking wig out and flip out. So no, Super Mighty Glue is definitely, especially when he's like, who has foreskin? If you do, now's the time to talk.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I gave that skit the Harry Palms Award. Yeah. You know what? Maybe Beehive Tetherball. That's one of my personal favorites.
Oh, God.
From part 3. And I love how at the end of it, how, Steve-O's like, Dave doesn't understand is the more you freak out, the more you get stung. Idiot. And I absolutely love the follow-up in the Jackass Forever where they do a bit with bees where Steve-O has the queen bee on his junk with all the bees attached to it. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And they show some of the guys, some of the new cast, and then you've got Dave just kind of standing there and there's bees flying around. I absolutely love how from 2 to 3, Dave completely freaked out when it came to the bees, but in that movie, they're reacting. All he did, there was a bee close to him. He just kind of tilted his head and he was completely calm. He finally learned how to be calm around the fucking bees. Big bravo today for that, man. For
Actually,
real.
I wanna retract what I said. I wanna take back what I said. I just thought of another one. I just thought of
Uh-oh.
another one. It's fucking hilarious. It's oh my god. I forget what it was called, but it was the one where, Aaron dresses up as a terrorist with the road flares.
Terror Taxi. Terror Taxi.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what? That is one of the best ones. Yes,
That is
that's true.
fucking hilarious. And they got the dude from fucking, Broken Lizard to be the cab driver, and it just
The director. Yeah.
oh my and then what makes it fucking worse is that they're putting the beard on. All the dudes are shaving their pubes to make this beard, and one of the guys had crabs. But did it have to have crabs? Well, yeah, it wouldn't have been funny if it didn't have crabs. Like,
Hey, I love that. Oh, I mean, was the dick hair necessary? Was that the big payoff? Like, guy's got dick hair all over his face.
hey, why do you have dick hair? Why do you have dick hair on your face?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. That's
Oh, that
one of
was
the best ones.
that's especially when they're like they're getting shot. Oh my god, he shot me, and he's in the trunk going, "Get me the fuck out of here!" And then when he finally gets out, he's like,
Boy.
"Oh, thank God!" Like you could tell the dude was fucking having a heart attack or some shit because
Oh, he was freaking out the whole time. And I gave that one the Who Brought Crabs to the Party award.
damn.
Had to do it. Had to do it.
Well, with that being said, this will conclude our review of Jackass Best and Last question mark because they did say they would do Son of Jackass, and that's only what a couple of years away. So
2063. That's another 30, 40 years, roughly.
30 years from now. Yep. Nah, not looking
No.
forward to it.
Mm-mm.
So
Nope.
that
Well,
being-
and that gets in poor taste now because Ryan is not with us anymore, so it hasn't aged well.
no, well, then, not like
Just
they
saying.
planned. Not like they planned.
No, they didn't. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So
But anyway,
that will conclude our review. So, Psycho Nerd, promote your shit.
well, unfortunately, the Psycho Nerd has been AWOL on my channel, but he is definitely over on his channel. So you can keep an eye out for him on the Real Movie Critics and, of course, the Josh Zodiac podcast. But for my channel, I actually have some new videos I've put out this week. Pete's House Episode 3. I have news about the channel, talking about some plans I want to do in the upcoming couple of months leading into Fantastic Fest. We're only a few months away. Shut the hell up. And earlier today, I put out my Supergirl review, and I'm actually editing 2 other videos as we speak. So I've been like a fucking machine this week, for real. Might even do a first playthrough of the new Star Fox, maybe.
Ooh, love the Star Fox games.
The only complaint I really have about this game, it's the exact same game from the 64, just with new graphics.
Fuck
and
yeah.
I'm not even kidding about that.
All about that. I love that. That's one of my favorite games. Well, as the Psycho Nerd said, you can find The Real Zodiac Productions has, of course, this podcast, The Real Movie Critics, and of course, the Josh Zodiac podcast, the greatest wrestling podcast you've never heard of. As you know, this is going to be a full weekend. We're doing 2 movie reviews. We're doing Jackass, which we just finished, and we're doing Supergirl. On the Zodiac side, we have Night of Champions, which starts to be tomorrow, and then we're going to do a review of AEW's Forbidden Door. That is the decision I've made on that because I'm not going to be able to access anything TNA, and I am sure as fuck not watching NXT. So there's only 4 matches on NXT in a 2-hour show now.
Oh, really? Okay.
And there's like 9 matches on the AEW show. So yeah, there's quite a few. So that being said, we have a full weekend, a lot of content coming out. I also did do one of my very first post-theater reaction to Supergirl on the concession stand. So make sure you watch that. That's been up for a couple of days now. For the Psycho Nerd, I am the Josh Zodiac, and that's our final word on today's movie. Whether you loved it, hated it, or fell asleep halfway through and woke up wondering what the fuck just happened, we would love to hear your thoughts, so make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and leave a little review whether you got where you get your podcast from, and also leave us a note what you thought of the movie and what your favorite bits are. We said this earlier, but just leave us a comment. We want some feedback, and make sure you're liking and following the show especially on YouTube. 74 subs. Let's get that up to at least 80, 85. Okay, guys, it's free. You know, I will love you guys forever. 100%.
I even got some new subs this week. Hell yeah.
There you go. See?
Woo!
But until our next movie review, I want you guys to keep the popcorn hot, The drink's nice and ice cold. And remember, the credits may be rolling, but the conversation is just getting started. We'll see you guys at the movies.
Lights go down, the screen comes alive.